There are few places on earth so renowned for their rugged beauty and matching lore. A place of myth, where the depth of history is as acclaimed as the toughness of its people. In the Highlands and along the coast, a rivalry has long existed with the land to the south. For it is here where ancient battles occurred and brave hearts took up arms. From the Romans to William the Conqueror, time and time again, battles were contested in a land that does not soon forget.
And Scotland have gained their first victory over the old enemy since 1967.
While the rivalry with their southern neighbours has softened over time, from the pitch to the field and the deck, sometimes it can feel as real as ever. When it comes to rivalry, they say there are sports, and then there is boxing, the sport that most embodies combat.
Who put on the fight of their lives here in Glasgow tonight.
Where decades ago, one Scotsman paved the way to rise above the rest, with a career that began by besting those from his kingdom.
Scotland's colours being carried proudly here tonight by Buchanan.
And ultimately resulted in becoming champion of the world.
And he's stopping it, it's all over. The world lightweight champion, Ken Buchanan of Edinburgh.
Today, a fellow fighter and countryman continues that legacy as one of the world's greatest boxers seeks to be both driven by history and place it in the distant past as he looks to defend an undisputed title and seize a victory that will resonate across continents.
It's got the potential to be a really tough fight. I've let the results do the talking, and that's what I've always done my whole career, and that's what I plan to keep on doing. Let the fists do the talking.
In a quest fueled by concepts as old as this land itself. Respect, recognition, bravery.
Josh, the Tartan Tornardo, Taylor!
When one looks up Preston Pans in the dictionary, the first thing that comes up is battle. For here, even though it was hundreds of years ago, a Highland charge still resonates. A charge that took only 30 minutes to defeat English forces. Today, it is a more peaceful place, at least on the surface. A town that loves pubs, revelry, and one of their favourite sports, practiced by a favourite son.
It was a great place to grow up because although there wasn't much to do, we had the great outdoors as our playground. We had all the golf courses, we had the sea right on our doorstep. They've got a tough mentality, it's a tough little town. You didn't have to go looking very far for a fight if you wanted one.
For the reigning four-belt junior welterweight champion, success was homegrown.
My mum and dad were very supportive of me growing up. I was 100% a working class family. My dad worked 2 jobs, my mum worked 2 jobs. If it wasn't for my mum and dad, I probably wouldn't be where I am today, you know, because they gave me everything and every chance in life that I could get to do what I wanted to do. You know, they worked all the hours under the sun to provide for my sister and I. And I was fortunate enough to have parents and family and that at the back of me that supported me in following my dreams and stuff as well.
Well, this is Josh's first set of fight shorts. He designed them himself. I always knew he was a wee kid, he was special. And I knew he was just going to go do something. I used to write wee bits of paper, leave him over the house saying he was going to be a world champion. If he didn't say it what, he was just...
he was just going to be a world champion.
So it doesn't surprise me what he's done.
While combat sports have long been Josh Taylor's passion, it was in Taekwondo that he first excelled.
I done that for he was 5.
Right up till he was 15.
He was a black belt, he was British champion at Taekwondo. And then he just came in one day, he said, I'm fed up with it, I fancy the boxing, Dad. I says, well, let's go. I always say to him, if you've got to do it right.
You're a very proud father, aren't you?
Proud as only I am.
In Preston Pans, Taylor is blessed with family, whether they're kin or not. None more so than his second father figure.
Hey, Till.
Hey, chap. Good to see you, son.
How you doing?
How's it going?
Aye, good.
Good,
Aye, training's going well, so...
Maybe get a wee bit mitts today. Fancy a wee bit mitts?
Maybe.
Just a
My
wee
deal
bit,
for
just a
Dave,
wee
maybe.
bit. Oh, come on.
You know what it's like,
You
I'll
never got
start
a
punching
deal.
the bags.
You never got a deal for you with me, did you?
I come here when I was about 17, 18 years old. Sort of in between jobs. At the time, my dad and I used to go around boxing gyms and co-sparring. We did a little bit of training with Terry a couple of times, and he knew I was in safe hands, and he knew that he trusted Terry to do his job.
I just made a deal with Terry. I says, I can't take this wee lad any further. Do you want to take him on board? And Terry says, aye. Well, I said, but the deal is you've got to treat him like your own son. So we shook hands and I walked away.
I'll never forget these words, and says, he's your son now. He's your son. Look after him. I trust you. And whatever you say, I'm happy with. I won't interfere. So, for that day on, Josh came in here every day. We let him train here for free. His mum and dad fed him and let him live in the house for free. But the deal was, you have to produce. We're giving you this chance. You have to produce. I think once you've had a kid 7 days a week, you see them more than their parents. You actually become like a parent to them. You become like a best friend.
Terry's in his corner. He knows Terry's got his back.
He calls him his gym dad.
His gym dad, that's his gym dad.
Nice. Nice.
I've got so much love for him, love and respect for him. He's just been there for me the whole time.
Good stuff, champ.
Detail. When I joined this club, I went away to box for Scotland. It was the first tournament representing Loch End, but for Scotland, and I won the gold medal.
I knew Josh was special when he first came here. Right away we knew he had speed, power, you know, and his dedication was second to none. That told me he was a bit special, that he wanted it.
Whatever he said I was to do, or you should do this, or do this, do that, I would go and do it with no questions asked. You know, I would go and do it and dedicate myself. So I gave him 100%. Got the gold medal winning vest and gloves from the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, where I won the gold medal. And so yeah, Terry's got a few of my bits and bobs up here, things that I've done since I've joined here, so aye, it's good.
Standing before you as the mandatory challenger for the IBF Championship of the World, from Preston Pans, Edinburgh, Scotland.
In 2019, at home in Scotland, having already accomplished many career milestones, the pride of Preston Pans once again laced up his gloves in a quest to seize another coveted belt.
The world title fight, the Baranchik one, it was easy enough. I made that a lot physically tougher than it should have been. I think it was because it was my title and it was my chance that I thought, right, I have to take this off him.
Oh, he's a big right hand, Josh Taylor! Oh, Josh Taylor's got him on the right. He's pouring on strong and he's down again. He's got him down again. What a round for Josh Taylor. And the new IBF Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, the Tartan Tornardo, Josh Taylor.
For all of its ruggedness, Scotland can also be a land of harmony, a fine place to recover. For much of the past year, that's what Josh Taylor has done.
The first bit of camp was just a bit of a nightmare, you know. But then I picked up a knee injury, and then I picked up COVID. And then after COVID, I got a chest infection. I just decided to put the fight back because there was too much at stake, you know, to not go into the fight 100%. So The knee's fine now, so I'm back to doing full training and full running and everything, so yeah, it's good. The hard work's just really beginning, really. Getting there is the sort of easy part, it's maintaining it, which is the tough part, you know, because now I've got the massive target on my back. Everybody wants what I've got, so it keeps that motivation and the hunger and the butterflies in the stomach when people are trying to take what you've got and work so hard for. It's quite easy to keep motivated and keep going. Danielle, he knows that I've dedicated my life to it, so she's been there and just supported me 100%. We just get along like a house on fire.
12 years we've been together, and 2020, Josh asked me to marry him.
I probably should have popped the question a couple of years ago, but I was just too busy in what I was doing and too driven in what I was doing and what I wanted to do and what I wanted to achieve. But better late than never, I suppose. I'm looking forward to calling her my wife and creating a life together and a family together, yeah. Life's not worth living if you've not got family, I don't believe, you know. You've not got your family and close ones around you. It's the most important people in your life, isn't it? So, yeah, family's everything, yeah. So this is the Preston Pans Labour Club. This is a pub that I used to come to quite a lot when I was younger. And this is where I met Danielle, yeah. My pal comes up to me and says, oh, my cousin, like, I think you're good looking and that. Wants you to go over and talk to her. I was like, oh yeah, all right, okay. And walked over full of the confidence and introduced myself.
I think Josh was quite drunk, but I was not too bad. When I first met him, because he was drunk and he was being a bit of an idiot, I was a bit like, who the hell is that? Because I never knew that he was a boxer. She just turned around and went, who the hell are you? Like, she didn't have a clue who I was. So obviously I was red-faced, looked round at my mate. My mate was absolutely pissing himself laughing. Set me up, made me look like a complete and utter bell end. And that was it, that was kind of how we got to meet. That was kind of like the ice broken. And then he tried to search me on Facebook, but he was spelling my name wrong and stuff like that. So eventually he got me on Facebook and then he messaged me and I just kind of started from there.
No two fights are ever the same. Some have greater stakes or greater significance, and some have hardship the world never knows.
The Progress one was a good one. Physically, the fight wasn't that tough. Tactically, I could have got it a bit better. That fight was pretty tough for me personally as well. Danielle had just lost her dad about 6 weeks before the fight, so I had to bottle up the emotions of being there for her. When she was on the phone and crying and stuff like that, I had to kind of say, oh, I'm going away to training and can block it out. So I blocked away all the emotions in that fight. And the wake and stuff as well. I could only go to the wake for about half an hour and I had to go away to training. So I blocked all that emotions in and it kind of yeah, it's a minute, yeah.
Both men bloody, both men will hurt. Pain will be significantly reduced for one who will be the champion.
It's shown in the performance of the fight. I kind of just fought fire with fire.
Quality stuff. Honestly, two warriors in there, like I said, leaving it all in the ring this evening. This is fantastic stuff, Ed.
Took tactics out the window and just fought the fight purely on desire and will and the will to win for James, you know, so it was quite an emotional fight, yeah.
The fighting tide has softened. And now the
For Josh Taylor, the past, present and future often weave together in the land where he grew up.
This was packed full every night and at the weekends. Groups of kids and groups of lads or girls or whatever were coming down. There'd be people playing at that side, people playing at that side. I think there's still lots of kids playing up there now. All right, guys. All right, wee man. I still go around with friends that I've always known. I still go to the same pubs, I still go round to the same areas and stuff, and see all these people that I grew up with. I'm still the same person. Hit the crossbar. See if you can hit the crossbar. Decent shot. Just because I am undisputed world champion doesn't mean that I then become big-headed and become someone who I think I'm not. What do you want me to say? Just do it there on the white bit. Eh? There you go. There's nothing more to it and nothing less to it. I don't see myself as some big superstar or a celebrity or anything like that. I'm still the same old guy. I'm just the best at what I do.
The best at what he does means that he must constantly defend everything he has earned. And to do that, Josh Taylor takes on a new and meaner persona, Hank.
People tend to think that it's like an alter ego. It's not an act that I put on, it's the way I am. When the buttons get pushed, that wickedness side of me comes more to the surface.
Josh Taylor, big moment here.
I want to get in and hurt that person, and I want to fight him, and I want to take him apart. I want to hurt him, I want to knock him out.
Oh! Josh Taylor scores the knockdown! Uppercut puts him down! What a shot! Josh Taylor floors Jose Ramirez, the undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world, Josh the Tartan Tornardo Taylor!
Everywhere he goes in Scotland, they know him by 2 words: undisputed champion.
Josh Taylor, go on, mate! Huge! Go on, son!
It's my biggest achievement in my life and in my career was becoming the 5th guy in the 4-belt era to become undisputed champion, but also in British sport and the first ever person to do it in Britain. It was felt like it got played under the radar a little bit, got kind of swept under the carpet. It kind of felt like, you know, I've trained my whole life for this big moment, a magical dream. It kind of gets ripped away from you and swept under the carpet, and it was quite frustrating, which I'm not really bothered about, but I feel like if it had been someone else, it maybe would have been different. But do you know what, I don't really care. I've did it, I've let the results do the talking, and that's what I've always done my whole career, and that's what I plan to keep on doing, let the fists do the talking.
As their local prodigy readies to defend his undisputed title for the first time, there's little doubt or fear in these parts.
No, really, I think he always had the potential when he was younger. You could see that he was destined for greatness.
He's always got that mentality that I want to beat the English. And he will. And he'll win at a canter. He'll win easy.
I don't know much about this other guy, but it's Josh Taylor we're talking about, eh? You know what I mean? There's not much can lace his boots like this. What I'm going to say, what I want to say, and I reckon it will be an early finish. It's not going to go the distance anyway. And there's only one winner coming out of that ring. Josh A.Y.
For as long as they can remember, these pipes have played, and this rivalry has existed. A rivalry that often brings out the best from 2 countries.
From Chorley, England, Hellcatto, Jack Catterall!
Jack is a very skillful fighter. I know he's unknown in the US, but I know from watching him that he's a very skillful fighter, and he's got good skills and good set of punches, good repertoire of punches. I've got my hands full, and I need to bring my A game to make sure that he doesn't take what I've worked so hard to get. He stepped aside to let me fight Ramirez, you know, but it wasn't all the good out of his heart. There was method in his madness. He knew that by him being able to step aside, he gets a crack at all the titles. I've worked my backside off to achieve these goals, beat champion after champion, undefeated champion, and this guy's getting a shot at the lottery in one fight. So it's my job to make sure that he doesn't get anywhere near it, and he won't.
There's everything at risk here, everything at stake. People always say, oh, he's the champion, he's defending his belts. When you get in that ring, those belts go up in the air, nobody owns them. They're up for grabs. Only one man can come out and claim them. They're not guaranteed yours, just because you're the champion. You don't walk in and go, didn't perform well, but still got me belts. No, nobody owns them. In that moment, nobody owns them. They're up in the air and you've got to earn them again. So Josh is going into this fight. Once he gets in the fight and the bell goes, he's the challenger. There is no next, you know, life doesn't exist past this fight. So Josh has got a lot of options in a fantastic position, but none of them matter at all if he doesn't come out victorious.
Right now, I'm thinking about beating Jack Catterall and nothing else. But longer term goals, my dreams and ambitions, become a two-weight world champion. Maybe even become an undisputed champion at welterweight as well. And that's never been done in two weights. That could go down as an all-time great of the sport, and that's what I want to do.
Time.
Me personally, I'd like to retire. Because it's hard watching your son getting punched for a living, you just... That's what I want, but he's got bigger goals. I know what he's like. He says, Dad, I'm going to win it Undisputed at 147. I can't stop him, I've just got to let him go.
For thousands of years, the land where he comes from has been contested. And today, the man they called the Tartan Tornardo is the embodiment of that legacy.
I told you I was going to be the champ.
A defending WBA, WBC, WBO and IBF champion in his prime. A man who is defined by the past, yet seeks to eclipse it.
I'm not in this sport to get pats on the back. I'm not in the sport to get well done and say, oh, you're this, you're that, and get smoke blown up my backside. I'm not in the sport for that. I'm in the sport to be one of the best fighters that I can ever be. And I want to go down as an all-time great and cement my name in the legacy books. 18 fights, man, is undisputed world champion. First person to do it in Scotland and in Great Britain. I want to achieve a lot more, but I still don't believe I've reached my Mount Everest yet. I still believe I've got a little bit more climbing to do.
And on February 26th, he will get that opportunity as Glasgow, Scotland, welcomes home a conquering hero.
I'm the champ! Listen, man, I'm the man! Yes! Josh, the Tartan Tornardo! Taylor! How sweet the sound.